The first step to take responsibility for children's rights by the U.S. government was an act passed by the state of Massachusetts in 1836. It required that children under 15 years of age should go to school for at least 3 months a year. This law was the pushing force that led to the Keating-Owen Act. Massachusetts then limited the work time of child labor to 10 hours a day in the year 1842. Lewis Hine, a photographer for the National Child Labor Committee, started to document the conditions of work in factories in 1914. Pressured by public outcries from Lewis Hine's photographs, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the Keating-Owen Act into law on June 5, 1916. This act was the first federal law passed in the United States concerning child labor, and was the start of the battle for children's rights. The Keating-Owen Act prohibited the exportation or importation of any goods that were produced by laborers under the age of 14 in any workplace. Also, under this act, child laborers under 16 years old could only work from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and work no more than 6 days a week. Congress had hoped the Keating-Owen Child Labor Act could achieve their objective to rid the industrial market of immoral child labor practices. This was not to be. The Supreme Court ruled in Hammer v. Dagenhart that the Keating-Owen Child Labor Act was unconstitutional in 1916. The Supreme Court found that Congress could not regulate interstate commerce above the state's right to regulate local trade as stated in the 10th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Though the Keating-Owen Child Labor Act failed, it directly resulted in the Fair Labor Standards Act. This act successfully survived through the Supreme Court opposition and even led to the eventual abolition of child slavery in America. The Keating-Owen Act indirectly led to the eventual abolition of child slavery in America, but the fight continues today globally. Organizations like United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund are the hope of children victims of child labor. Only until we uphold our responsibility to protect children's rights around the globe can child labor be eliminated universally at its worst.